All right, to finish up our module on the practice of real estate, got a couple more topics to kind of touch on. And the one we're looking at right now is dealing with ethics in real estate. And obviously, ethics should mean a lot to you and anybody else that might be in real estate or any other business. Ethics is quite important. Now, an hour or maybe 2 hours ago, we kind of touched on this a little bit in that, remember, there's a big difference between a real estate agent and a realtor. And obviously anybody with a real estate license is considered a real estate agent. But you can only be a realtor by joining the Association of Realtors. Then you can use that title, realtor. But when you join the association, you also agree to be held, not only are you accountable to licensed law, but now you're accountable to a national code of ethics, which means there are some things that a realtor cannot do that maybe just a real estate agent can do because of the ethics part of it. Now, having said that, there will be no questions on the state exam concerning ethics, but we do need to just kind of touch on it, just to, one, make you aware that there is a code of ethics for realtors. Again, not that it's going to be testable, but the state wants you to know that, so there you go. But in a nutshell, and there's some more information, obviously, in your material dealing with ethics. And what is ethics? It's what's fair, what's right for all parties. In fact, I think to sum it all up, you should just live by the golden rule, right? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But look, ethics, in my opinion, will create success in your career, or it can bring you down. Just because it's not just because it might be legal to do something, does not mean you should do it, or doesn't mean it might is necessarily the right thing to do. So, just treat all people the way you would want to be treated yourself, okay? And then, that's all I'm really going to talk about on the ethics. Again, mainly just because there's nothing on the exam concerning ethics. But just, you can read a little more information about it there in your material. But then to wrap things up in this chapter, we need to talk about technology, using some technology in real estate. Obviously there are programs out there now that you can basically email documents to clients, and they can just sign the document electronically, or they might call it e-sign. So they don't even have to print the document out. They can just click their mouse button and bam, and it will install an electronic signature. Well, first of all, are those legal? Well, obviously they're legal, but are they valid? Are they enforceable? And yes, they are. So typically you should have no issues with electronic signatures. Now, I will tell you, there may be some lenders, and I'm saying some, I have encountered this, and on certain documents, they will not allow you to do an electronic signature. They may require an actual signature from your client. But if they do, then that's just a policy they have. But from a legal standpoint, they are legal, they are valid, they are enforceable. So nothing wrong with that. The next thing you see there, it talks about internet and social media. And the main thing you need to understand here, just because you may be on some social media platform, do not lose your professional bearing. And I've heard people say, but this is my personal Facebook page. I can put what I want to on there. Nah, you can't. Remember we talked about in the previous hour about advertising. And if you're putting anything on your social media that's got anything to do with real estate, whether you're trying to create business or trying to convince people to call you if they want to buy a house or sell a house, or if you're out there, if you're actually advertising a particular house for sale, remember there are some legal requirements for that. And one, if you're marketing a property for sale or rent, you better have that written agreement to do it. But you better not have it on your Facebook or any other social media if you don't have that agreement. But then also, remember you got to have the full name of the company you represent. Here's what I would suggest to you. If you're going to do anything real estate related on let's say for example Facebook, this would apply to any social media, but let's say Facebook, that seems to be the biggie nowadays. But you need to create what I guess you would call it a business page. And on that business page, obviously at the very top, you should have the name of the company you represent. Keller Williams, Exit, ERA, Caldwell Banker, Century 21. Whatever the case is, on the top of the page, that should be very evident what company you represent, along with all your contact information. Anything about your real estate business. You need to have it on that page. And anything you do or say about real estate, you need to post it on your real estate, on your business page, not your personal page. Now, what I hear people say, but Frankie, all my friends, I got thousands of friends on my personal page, very little, maybe none, starting out certainly on my business page, and I want all my friends to see it. Okay, but you can post it on your business page and then share it onto your personal page. But by sharing it, as long as you did everything on your business page, all that legal information you got to have, excuse me, all that legal information you have to have is already there because you created the post from your business page, and now you can share it on any other page you want to share it with. So just be careful that you don't lose your professional bearing just because you're on the internet or some social media platform. Paragraph C is just saying, you do have an obligation to make sure you keep all your clients' information confidential. It must be kept secured. Y'all apologize. But, look, you're going to have clients sharing information with you, maybe even providing documents that contain confidential information. And by law, you better keep it secure. If it falls into the wrong hands, somebody hacks into your computer and steals it, you can say, but I couldn't help that. It wasn't my fault. You're still going to be responsible. So, if you're collecting or maintaining or holding confidential information, you better make sure it's secure, that nobody else can get hold of it, because it's going to cause you a problem if you do. All right. In paragraph D, this is an interesting one here. It's something called the Do Not Call Registry. Basically what this is, if you wanted to eliminate people calling you, soliciting, and wanting you to buy something or sell you, whatever. You could actually register your phone number on this, what they call Do Not Call Registry. And that takes you off the solicitation list, where now no one legally should be calling you if it's dealing with some form of solicitation. If they do call you and you're on that number and you turn them in, that person, whoever called you, could be subject to a $40,000 fine. So that's pretty significant right there. So I like the concept. I like the idea of this do not call registry, because my phone rings nonstop and it's usually some kind of spam. And I'm on the do not call registry. So I'm not sure why they're calling, but it could be because of the exemptions. I hate exemptions. If you're going to pass a law, then it should apply to everybody, and there shouldn't be any exemptions the way I see it. But that's not the way our politicians work. They'll pass a law, and typically they always exempt themselves. Imagine that. No matter what law they pass, this does not apply to those of us in Congress, it seems like. So who's exempt? Meaning they could still call and not be subject to this $40,000 fine. Registered charities, they can call you. Educational institutions, and there you go. The government bodies, politicians, political parties can call you. Social researchers and opinion posters. Those are the ones I don't want calling me. I'm just being honest. But yet, those are the ones that are exempt. Well then, that kind of leaves, I don't know who else would be calling me, to be honest with you. But anyway, that's what the do not call registry is. So just make sure you know what it is. And then the last thing here is something called the CAN-SPAM Act. Now, a lot of people are not familiar with this, but I'm telling you, they ask questions about this. It's just called the CAN-SPAM Act. And it's really dealing with, it says it covers all commercial messages, which the law defines as any electronic mail. Y'all talking about like text messages, primarily emails, what they're really dealing with here. Basically, what the law is requiring under this act is this: if I send you an email and I put in the subject line, "You've won $10,000," then guess what? When I go open it up, the body of that email better tell me how I can go collect that $10,000. My point is, what a lot of times people will do, they will put something kind of misleading in the subject to make it look like something you'd want to look at, and then go look at the email. It's got nothing to do with the subject line. That's a no-no. You can't be doing stuff like that. Let me flip over here. In fact, so here's a list of some of the things that you cannot do under this CAN-SPAM Act. You cannot use false or misleading header information. Kind of like the subjective subject lines, or deceptive, which is the second bullet there. You must identify the message as an ad, so it must be clear that it is an ad. You must tell recipients where you're located. Talking about whoever's sending it, I got to know where you are. Must be an actual address. And tell recipients how to opt out of receiving future emails. That's a biggie right there. If you're sending, I get emails from real estate agents, and I know it's on one of these group email lists they've got me on, where apparently agents around here feel like I want to know every time they list a house for sale. So they'll send out an email, here's a house for sale, and all the information about it. Which is fine. Actually, I kind of enjoy looking to see what agents are listing, what kind of deals are out there. But if you're going to be sending out emails, and again, we're talking about emails that are like marketing, advertising, stuff like that. You got to put in that email, let them know how they can opt out, and meaning, by the way, and if they do opt out, you better not send them another email or text message or however you're sending out information. If they opt out, that better be the last one you send them, because you're going, it could be very expensive for you if you don't. Monitor what others are doing on your behalf. Be careful with that. A lot of times people will hire marketing people. And I'm telling you, these marketing people, if they're not paying attention, somebody opts out of something you send them and they don't catch it, or they don't get them off the email list and send them again, you're the one going to be paying the price for this. So just be careful with that.